Hello.
Hello.
We are back. Yes, the podcast is good. We are on our 60th episode of the podcast.
Man, time flies.
It does. It does. So does the expiration on licenses for shows on Crunchyroll also, apparently. But I don't need to get into how fucking stupid that is in trying to ruin my content experience life as a YouTuber. Heh Just lost the English dub. We just lost one of our most watched fucking animes on the entire channel. Fucking stupid. Anyway. Alright, so yeah. Every other podcast episode. Let's go through our weeks. Mike, go ahead.
Yeah, so this week has been pretty much business as usual. Today though, I had 3 houses to visit. So yeah, the house hunting is still in the early stages. I probably have like no less than 50 more to look at. But you know, that perfect house will be out there somewhere.
It will happen eventually. Gotta look for it. 3.
So my mentorship, my first review went really great. I was a little high in Sudafed because I had like a little cold or something last week. And I went first. So right out of the gate, I was like, okay, cool, and totally nailed it. Like the notes are really great. Mike actually saw my scene revision, so he knows exactly what I'm talking about. And I'm working on another scene. It might be for class or it might just be for whatever because I'm working to make it into a feature. Other than that, just kind of did some Hades 2. Did a podcast about Brock, this is so stupid. I don't think you've ever heard of vertical shorts, but just imagine like a TikTok that's like an hour or so long, split up into different segments. But anyway, we watched one that was a dramatic. I'm trying to compose myself. And a dramatic homage to the Luigi Mangione case called The Adjuster. You know, Brock, however bad you think it is, I guarantee you it is 1,000 times worse. It is bad. It is like watching human skinwalkers. You'd probably like it though, because it's like a very specific kind of bad. And yeah, it's just kind of dealing with life.
Good lord. All right, so we didn't do a podcast last week because I was in our Alabama plant for work. So that's why we didn't have a podcast last week. So I was doing that while I was gone. On my travels down there, caught up on Chainsaw Man. So I can watch the Reze Arc movie tomorrow. I'm pretty pumped about that. Chainsaw Man's really good. Really like it. Sad part is my favorite character, like the original group that was in there, is dead. And now because people can't help themselves, my other 2 characters that I really like in the show, I know are going to die.
Oh no! I am sorry that happened. Oh no!
I legit saw the panels in which they die.
Oh
yeah, and
no.
I know the panels you're talking about too. I am so sorry.
Happy
and I know
birthday.
Yeah, which by the way, here if you want to feel more sad, hold on, I'm gonna pan up.
No.
Yeah. Yeah. But yeah. Anyway, so there's that. I'm pretty pumped about the movie, which is tomorrow. We got tickets. We're actually going to the bigger theater that I normally go to see like big blockbusters and stuff that have like the nice huge screens. Not my theater in town because it's not at my theater in town here.
Yeah, that's the one thing. Like the screen times of the Chainsaw Man movie are like really weird. Like I'm actually kind of surprised.
Yeah, like the Demon Slayer movie made it to my small town theater, with multiple showings, but this didn't even get one.
Yeah, it's like it's so weird, especially since this movie's been like so hyped about for a while.
Very much so. But so there's that, and then on the way down and on the way back up, I am completely caught up on Dan to Dan. So there's that. And I talked with Mike about this while I was recording stuff on Saturday with him. I'm willing to die on the hill now that the second opening is better than the first one. I know that's a take not a lot of people are going to like, but my God, that song is so good. And the storytelling that they do with the coloring and situations of everything going through that opening is just so good. Bryce Papenbrook does not get enough credit for how good of a voice actor he is.
Oh, he's so good.
Oh, no, he's great. Like, I remember I told my his friend, and he was like, wait, that's Bryce? I'm like, yeah?
Yeah, Kinta, that whole part was ridiculous. Hunting Soul from the Exorcism song episode is legit. Like, I was screaming it.
Yeah, legit banger.
That was so good. Like, people like working on new windows, training people at our plant down there, screaming Hunting Soul in the background. Like, what the hell? Like, 2 people in that whole plant know what anime is. So I'm like, yeah, so there's that. I also, you can see in the background here, got everything. Once I got back, I finished Ghost of Yotei and platinumed it. That game is a fucking masterpiece. It's so fucking good. And it made me extra happy knowing that all these fucking sexist, prepubescent fucking chuds that were like, well, according to Emily Bro and my trust me bro, he works at Sony Analytics, Yotei's bombing horribly. I can tell that it's done so bad because these analytics that I found on this website that cater to me that has been wrong many times before is totally correct. And then the actual analytics of sales pop up, and it is flat, identical to Tsushima, but slightly trending up. And Tsushima had a 40 million higher install base. It was $10 cheaper at time of release. So it's doing better than Tsushima did.
And you know what? I actually have like a very appropriate reaction for this.
Yep.
Yeah. Pretty much. Yeah. And what made me really happy is that like one of the biggest things was like what we get in video games now. And it was like all these people showing all these games, and one of the main ones are like we used to get games about manly things that people wanted to play, and then one of the main ones they played was Doom: The Dark Ages. And they showed in the analytics that Ghost of Yotei outsold what Doom: The Dark Ages did in 5 months and 3 days.
Oh,
nice.
Ouch.
No! That's none of my business. I will say, though, someone asked me to, literally sounds like half the videos on ZA I've seen this week. I have some other things I'd like to say about ZA, but I'm not going to. But anyway, I had someone ask me, because they're like, what's the difference between playing as Jin and playing as Atsu? Jin is very, like, what I want to say, very conflicted in certain stuff. That, like, it goes throughout the whole thing, and your entire plot line is him turning into the ghost. They kind of flip that on his head with Atsu. Like, she's very determined throughout the entire thing, and only, like, falters 2 or 3 times in the entire 60 hours of game session that I had. And it is a big fucking deal if you make that woman change her mind, like a monumental fucking deal. So that was really cool. But my best way that I could describe it is playing as Jin Sakai in Ghost of Tsushima. I am very conflicted about how I want to fight people, and I am going to have a quandary whether I should stab someone in the back. Atsu, I just blew someone's face off with a flintlock pistol and then wrote a song about it.
I don't know, Brock. I don't know which one's a better character. I don't know. It's new. I don't No!
Now, that's not me saying that, like, Jin's bad. I just love how they're like, it's just the same damn game. They ask I'm like, you have not touched it! If you actually think that. And it's like, it's another one of those things where, like, the ending makes it do a thing that not most revenge tales do. So there's going to be people that are upset about that in the same way a lot of people were upset about The Last of Us Part 2. But, like, not in the same ways. So I can't wait for people who, like, don't understand that doing something different than basic horseshit can be good writing.
Mm-hmm.
And here's another thing. You can just not like something, and that doesn't mean that it's bad.
Yeah.
Like,
it's such a hard concept, though.
Yeah, just like, oh, that wasn't what... Like, if the thing is now... If you didn't do what I wanted you to do, you wrote it incorrectly. That take boils my piss more than anything ever. They should have done this. It's bad. Or you just didn't like what they did.
And you know what I have to say? It's not charged. I'm like, right, bitch, right.
Yeah. You're the uneducated bastard that's sitting there going, I could write better than that. Cool. Then why aren't you hired by places to write because of your credentials? I don't mean to brag, but I myself have released fanfiction, and I'll have you know, because I released it on AO3, I am a Hugo Award-winning writer, and I will take that to my damn grave. It does not matter to anyone, but it matters to me. So I can partially say that I've won awards for my goddamn writing while you sit at home and goon about the fact that you can't masturbate to normal-looking Asian women. So maybe you should just shut the fuck up and look for your next thing you want to be sexist about, guy who's most likely a fan of Asmongold. Anyway, I'm finding out in my old age that any fucking filter I has is gone. It's just non-existent.
Oh yeah, no.
I'm turning into my mother. That's what's happening.
Yeah, no, I am in my full I don't give a fuck era too.
This is probably the meanest thing I've ever said to one in my entire life. We'll get on to the topic, so I have to get this out of the way. I have this worker at work. This woman, I could give her $1 million on a silver platter and she would bitch that the platter wasn't gold. And she has said some of the most heinous, horrendous, and just inflammatory things towards other workers. But yet, because at certain points, and my workplace is getting better about this, they just refuse to, like, get rid of people. And it's getting better, and I'm noticing it, and I think they're noticing it because now good people are quitting. Because they don't want to put up with the stupid people. Because that whole thing has swung around again for like 5 years. I've been in the same place for 10 years. But anyway, so this woman, who is continuously a cantankerous bitch, her husband for like 2 years or so went through some bad medical shit. And everything in her life was terrible, except for when she was tormenting other people and then she would smile. And then she came out into my work area where I was doing things that didn't involve her and came to bug me about a thing that she knew that I couldn't solve just as she could bitch at me about it. And the filter just auto-deleted itself, and I said a thing that I thought was a thought in my head. And then it was out loud, and I was waiting to get pulled into HR. But I didn't, because I think she knew full well that if she went to HR, that I'd have a laundry list of things recorded and testimonies to it that would have gotten her in more trouble. But I, without skipping a beat, said, I don't want to talk to you right now when, of all things that are trying to happen in this workplace, God was trying to do your husband a favor to get him away from you.
Oh my God!
Her face, I didn't know the human body could pull off the look she gave me.
Wow.
I went home and I told my mom, I'm like, I'm shocked I didn't get fired today. And I told her what she did. She's like, no, you just proved that you're my son. That's all you did. My mom was the cool mom that you wanted to be friends with, because if you were friends with me, my mom treated you like her own kid. Like, you got to go on family vacations with us, cool mom. But if you fucked with any of us kids, my mom would bury you 10 feet under and have a medical practice notary to let them know why you died, what happened with you, and how they would never find you. Oh, Anyway, all right, let's talk about some stuff. Okay, so starting off at the top. Dear Jesus, this thing is big this week. I don't know why they're doing this. Mike, buy or sell that Hulu has ordered an official reboot for Prison Break. The show is set in the same world, but with a brand new cast.
You know what? Fine, whatever. Hulu is doing this thing where they're just reviving pretty much everything.
But it's like weird because wasn't there like a sequel season or like reboot of Prison Break like not even a decade ago?
Yeah, they did a sequel season where they were in Mexico or something.
You know what? I haven't watched any of Prison Break. I don't know. It just flew by me. I'm like, allegedly this show is popular. Okay, sure, fine. Not my thing.
It's like Yellowstone, but for the early 2000s.
Right, but at least I understand why people like Yellowstone. It's just
his tattoo was cool. Shut up. His tattoo was cool. That's all I ever heard about the thing. He's like, his tattoo is a map of the prison. I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. Yeah, supposedly, Heisers, I don't get it. That whole situation, I don't understand.
I think they're trying to make it like how it is overseas, where it's stars, and it's just going to be like how it is now, where Hulu's in its own section, on the Disney Plus app. And if there's stuff that you don't want your kids to watch, then A, watch your kids, and B, put on parental controls.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I just kind of watch everything through Disney Plus anyway, so...
How can we watch my kid if I'm just shoving an iPad in its face and telling it to leave me alone, and we can't wonder why our kids are developmentally challenged now? Ugh. Ugh. Anyway, we need to bring back bullying.
I'll help you.
This is coming from a kid who was severely bullied when he was younger. We need to bring back bullying.
Yeah, I know. Like, mine was so severe, I had to drop out of school. And I had to kill myself. But anyway.
Same!
High five! Yo!
High five! Trauma, yeah. Yeah. Anyway, on a lighter note, Bree, buy or sell that Netflix and Mattel are partnering on a range of K-pop Demon Hunters merchandise, including dolls, action figures, accessories, collectibles, playsets, collabs, co-brands, and effectively just a shit ton of money about to come their way.
Bye! Which, what's even funnier? Because I was actually talking to this on, like, one of my Discords. Without getting, like, super into it, this is just the stuff that we know that's been, like, publicly stated. So, long and short of it is, Netflix essentially paid off, like, the rest of the production budget and gave Sony an extra $20 million. And that is all Sony is getting. But then when you go, but wait, the music. Funny thing about that, the album's through Republic Records, which is owned by Universal Music Group, which is definitely not Sony. So essentially, they sold potentially a generational cash cow franchise for $20 million.
Oh, don't worry. Sony's really good at other decisions. Like me learning again that I finished Dan to Dan. A show that created a situation where Sony was suing itself. Does anyone not know about that?
Wait,
Sony.
What?
Is it because of Ultraman?
No. It was because of Hunting Soul was a song that sounds a lot like another song that was made by like Cross Japan, I guess. And it was a tribute to them. To the point of where the lead singer posted about it and was like, wow, maybe I should start watching Dan to Dan. And then lawyers brought up a thing to where the record, the people that make the song that's based off of, is owned by Sony Records. And they were suing Dan to Dan, which is produced through Aniplex, which is owned by Sony.
Oh, I see. So they're robbing Paul to pay Peter.
It took a lot of legal mumbo jumbo for them to realize that they were suing themselves over something they. It's ridiculous. So fucking dumb. It was so fucking dumb. Ay. All right. Mike, bye. No. You know what? We're gonna bring that into something later because we've got the deals from what are coming from that later. So, Mike, buy or sell Lawrence Fishburne's potential on being casted in a Star Wars project. No, I'm good.
You know, I don't blame him. Especially,
You know, this answer is just correct.
especially after news broke out a couple days ago that Disney passed on a Star Wars project with Steven Soderbergh and Adam Driver concocting some sort of Ben Solo project. Lucasfilm was like, yeah, sure, why not? But Disney's like, no, we're not doing this.
Yeah, they, yeah. I don't know what the fuck they're doing over there.
I don't think they know.
They
No.
don't.
They don't. Bree, buy or sell that Jim Carrey is in talks to star in the live-action Jetsons movie, and Colin Trevorrow is in talks to direct it.
Okay. How can you put in the words how much you hate every single word in a sentence? Why? Who the fuck still cares about the Jetsons other than fucking nerds? Like, why are we giving nostalgia for people that are like 75 now?
Got me. That they're selling it off Jim Carrey more than the title. Danny DeVito is Mr. Spacely because literally who else? After, yeah, I mean, yeah,
Unfortunately, I see it.
yeah, could be, yeah. All right, Mike, buy or sell that Eric Kripke confirms they have plans for Gen V Season 3. It will only happen if Season 2 gets enough viewers. Now's the time that they're going to pay attention to the numbers, so don't wait a year. Watch it now.
I have not seen a single episode of Season 2. I know it just wrapped today. So
Yeah.
I can only say sight unseen. Bye.
Yeah, this sounds like they're going to. This sounds like this leads into season 5, and then the show kind of just bleh. And if they want more of Gen V, they'll just make it.
Yeah,
Kinda what
like
it sounds like.
Gen V can be however long it wants to be, because as far as I know, it's not really even like a straight adaptation of like any spin-off of The Boys. It's a spin-off of the TV show, not necessarily an adaptation of the comic.
Yeah. So, yeah, it'll be one of those things where like they have another spinoff of that freaking thing going anyways. Bree, buy or sell that Apple TV Plus has rebranded to Apple TV. The studio said this is their vibrant new identity.
Well, other than that's being bullshit, this does actually make sense. Because to get Apple TV Plus, you have to go into the Apple TV app. There is no separate Apple TV Plus app. So it's just been always confusing. And I guess at the time, they're having it to avoid confusion with, like, their smart devices, but the app's already called Apple TV. What does Plus even mean?
Got me. Don't know. Heisers, I do not remember that. That would have been interesting, though.
Yeah, that would have been cool, like, 20 years ago.
Yeah.
Mike, buy or sell that Robert Kirkman says Omni-Man would easily take down Superman because, quote-unquote, Superman sucks.
I buy that he believes that.
Yeah, that's what I was just gonna say. Yep.
That's it. That's all I have.
Fucking comic book creators. The version of the thing I copied sucks so much that I made a copy of it.
Oh my god.
Like, at least... Oh, what's his name? The guy that made The Boys.
Garth Ennis.
Garth Ennis, like, admits that he hates superheroes. Like, the guy will at least admit it.
Yeah, at least be honest about it.
Yes. Bree, buy or sell that Matthew Lillard will be playing a character named Mr. Charles in Daredevil Born Again. He will be an antagonist to Kingpin.
You know, I like that Matthew Lillard's, finally getting like more like roles again. Because he was really good on Good Girls, and then they fucking canceled it, and that show was good, and I'm still upset about it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Matthew Lillard's really good. He needs to be doing more things, period. In my opinion, Matthew Lillard should have been Carnage at some point, but that's just me.
You know what? I actually can see that.
There's a person that did like the picture of him with the gun from Scream, where it's like that one that he does really well, and then they literally splice it with a well-known Carnage pic, and it's literally just two pieces of a pie slapped together that are identical to a scary degree.
Oh, nice.
Okay, who's here? Lillard's so good. Buy or sell that Batman Nightfall will be getting a multi-film animated adaptation. Part 1 releases in 2026.
I am tentatively buying this because Nightfall. I'm not going to bring down my my trade paperbacks now, but I got the 3. Yes, those.
That?
Yes.
Now, is it theatrical, or is it just the continuing DC AU stuff on like direct to video?
I got nothing.
This is one of the direct video ones.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Here's the thing.
And it's 4 parts too. By the way.
4 parts. That blows my mind. Here's the thing I'm going to say too, because I saw a lot of people complain about this. They're like, "This is so fucking stupid. Why do they only ever make Batman animated?" Because you never watch any of the other ones!
And they make money. It's the same reason why Disney kept making direct-to-video shit, because y'all kept buying it!
Yeah.
You cannot make a change if they release one that's not Batman and then you don't care. You have to care! The crazy thing that companies like to do, especially Warner Brothers, is make money. It's almost like it's their sole purpose. Ay. Bree, buy or sell that James Gunn says he talked with Ryan Reynolds about Deadpool appearing in Peacemaker Season 2's finale. Yeah, I wanted him to open the door and see Deadpool in a room. I think we would have had to go through some pretty big hoops to do that, but he wanted to do it.
You know what? Yeah, I believe it, because that just seems like some trauma-ass shit that they would totally do.
It does. Mike, buy or sell that Scarlett Johansson is circling the role of Mother Gothel in the Tangled live-action movie.
Sure, whatever. The fact that we're even.
I love Mike when he doesn't care.
Cares?
Mike when he doesn't care is funny because you don't get this version of Mike very often. It's awesome. I love it. Whenever we get it, I love it.
I just don't understand why we're talking about a Tangled live action. No, I mean, correction. Yeah. I know exactly why we're talking about a Tangled live action series.
Well, the only good thing is there will be no Zachary Levi. Like that's the only good thing.
That's the only good thing.
Okay.
Yet. Don't. They haven't said no.
Is he going to play the father who doesn't have a line of dialogue?
And then he goes on about saying, why, we shouldn't vaccinate our kids.
Oh God. All right. We got one more buy or sell. Bree, buy or sell that they are already in the works on Mortal Kombat 3 because of how confident they are that Mortal Kombat 2 will do well.
I mean, rules of 3, at least tell, kind of, sort of, the first Mortal Kombat story. I get it. I mean, I don't think the movies are, terribly expensive to make. So it's kind of like a low-risk, high-reward move. So, yeah, I get it.
How much was the first one?
I thought it was, 90 million?
What year did that come out?
That was
21. But it has
actually no. It's only 55.
Damn.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Yeah,
Damn.
that's a responsible budget for a Mortal Kombat movie.
Absolutely. Especially how good it looked. Hell yeah.
Oh, and even if they upped it to like 90 million, that'd still be like reasonable.
Yeah.
That movie.
Oh, ruh-roh.
Oh my god. So, it's got other stuff listed here. That Mortal Kombat movie was only $25 million more expensive than Mortal Kombat Annihilation.
Oh my god.
No way. No fucking way.
How did they spend $30 million on Mortal Kombat Annihilation?
Yeah,
Where was the budget?
But at least, Mortal Kombat, like, they got it to that amount because I'm pretty sure they shot in New Zealand, so they were able to take advantage of the tax credit system.
God, it looked like that movie cost $5. Anyway,
but it was a very crispy $5 bill.
Gene TiKal actually liked the original Mortal Kombat movie. Is good in my opinion. It's a good movie. It's not a great representation of a lot of things in Mortal Kombat, but it's a good movie. Yeah, it would be funny if someone says Toasty. I wouldn't doubt you actually see Ed Boon in this one, if I'm going to be perfectly honest.
No, they have just Toasty as like a Willem scream in the background. Like, that's the proper way to do it.
It would be funny. Toasty! Yeah, it would be really good. But, alright, so, going on from that. So, I had a social media thing. I gotta see if this will pop up. I don't remember if this is the right link or not. When we go on these 2-week stretches, I kind of forget the stuff that I posted here sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay.
I also have my own mistakes I'm going to talk about.
Yeah, I know. Well, we'll get there. All right. So share screen. So this is okay. So this is here. Never do this. Passing off someone else's work as your own. This grok image effect, the day and night transition, was created by me, but I'm pretty sure that person knows it. To make things worse, their copy has more impressions than my original. This grok imagine effect that you had AI make for you?
What?
You didn't create shit!
You're a thief. Which, by the way, I'm not sure if I posted this. I think I posted somewhere else. Meta's cutting 600 AI jobs. So,
Yeah.
This seems awfully similar to what happened with the metaverse. I wonder what's gonna happen.
Yeah. Yes, but it's like the guy who didn't make the thing is mad at the guy who made a different version of the thing he didn't make.
Also, can we mention how much this looks like shit?
It does. It looks like ass, but it has the same coloring as Studio Ghibli, so everyone thinks it's like, oh, no, it looks like shit.
Well, but apparently, animation is cinema just means cool animation style, which, this is for what I'm gearing up with Mike and Cameron in a few weeks to do, but people need to go to a fucking museum and understand what art really is.
Mm-hmm.
It's just not going to. It's just not, because you can make pretty things on AI because I pressed a button and it's mine. No, because when someone else can enter the same prompt and make that same thing with little effort, no.
No. All right. So, did you want me to?
You can. I don't know enough about this, so
we've got enough material to go off on this.
Okay.
You go.
All right. So Mike, do you want to bring it up, or do you want me to bring it up?
I will let you take it.
Oh, okay. All right. I probably won't even pull the original post because there's a lot in there, and honestly, they're legitimately fucking garbage. But anyway, the TDRL. So a couple days ago, Disney announced a new theatrical short that I guess is going to be attached to Zootopia 2. I'm just assuming.
This is how I found out about the short, by the way.
Okay. So one thing that Disney has historically done is when they make these shorts, they'll let like the animator tell like their own personal stories, which again contradicts what Disney said a few months ago, but that's a story for another day.
Disney contradicting themselves. What?
Yeah, I know. It's such a crazy idea. But anyway, the upcoming short is features a husband and a wife going through some emotional event. Now, people assumed, I'm guessing, either through like the images, which if you look at the images, you could tell that there's a little bit more going on, or people are assholes and just didn't give a shit. Anyway, the short's about, a couple dealing with a miscarriage. And people are just saying really weird shit because, look, I get, Disney has been fucking bad about, like, telling, like, actual, like, queer stories that are significant. That has zero to fucking do with this. And everyone said it was, the propaganda for, like weird, like, alt-right, like, breeding shit and, like, other crap, and that it was, pro-life. And and a lot of it, and this was my kind of big gripe, was from, like, younger queer people, and I'm like, queer people and non-cis people can be pregnant or have partners that are pregnant.
Mm-hmm.
Miscarriages are, like, a universal thing that people unfortunately deal with. And, like, for me, what was particularly upsetting is that miscarriages have run in my family, and then because of my own thing, because I'm on ADHD meds, like, if I want to start a family, like, I can't just decide it's going to be like this whole thing. And the other thing that kind of grinds my ass, and I know we try not to be political, but to me, this is just a common sense statement. You can be pro-choice and still care about babies. Like,
Yep.
I'm sorry if pregnancy and babies aren't your thing, but you're kind of making the assumption that that's what everyone's experience is, and you're just assuming someone's life experience is like some like propaganda piece. And it just, I don't know. It's like an apples to oranges situation, and that's just not a situation that you fucking apple to oranges.
It is. It's situations where on both sides it's just.
But I should get this screenshot. Let me just Disney short, just to show like the exact thing that people were going off on.
Umbreon, I'm gonna be the guy that says that. I'm on the right, and that's not true. Sorry to tell you. That could not be a statement that's even further from the truth. Sorry to tell you. And we're not gonna have that going on in my podcast. We're not gonna be having political shit being spewed in there or anywhere else. Just not happening.
All right. So anyway, I have the two screenshots that Disney publicly released. So that they have this, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
And then, oh, hold on. I went to the wrong screen. And then they have this. So, I mean, let's see. Wow, we have like the star, like, is fading and bright. Huh, you know what? I wonder what that could be about.
Yeah.
Like, two looks could tell you that this is not like, some weird, like, Christian, like, bullshit. Like, not you, Brock Christian, but, the weird, cringy stuff.
No, I get what you're saying. No, trust me. No, I get it. Trust me, I get it. It's one of those things where I'm not getting into political wise here. I'm one of those people when you get to it. For me, if it's going to end your life, or what I want to say this, life of the mother, incest and rape, all that's do whatever. Other than that, it's all choices, whatever you want to go on any stuff of this. Pregnancy is not an all right thing. Things do not always go right. Trust me. That two sisters have had miscarriages. Crap happens. But this is just people that don't. Everything has to be a this way or a that way when it's a situation that can't even involve them. And they see anything as a part of this image, they only take apart the part that they want to bitch about and will not even notice the other crap that's going on in it. And then that will all just fade into the black of existence because the thing that I care about got brought up. That's not how that works, and you're missing the entire message of why certain things go on, and you're missing why certain stories are told. If you can only see one thing in the entire grand scheme of a story and you're going to bitch about it, we're wondering why our world is so fucked up right now.
And like the other thing too is like, I imagine that this guy has like some social media thing. Like, that's horrifying.
Yep. It's terrible.
Like, no, it's like, well, what the fuck? And like the other thing, is someone who is queer, you're saying, oh, because I'm queer, that this, can't be something that I relate to. Like, what the fuck?
That's not. Social media was a disease.
A big
Mistake?
fat disease. And like, here's the thing: if you want to make jokes about it, then just say, like, the cattiest you should have gone is saying, "Hey, that's cool. What about the gay Disney?" Like, there's no need to like be like fucking weird about it.
Nobody knows how to not be weird though.
No, and this is the one thing, and I'm like left, and I can say this. So many like on the left are just like fucking hypocrites and like so weird about this. They're like, oh, the punching down. I'm like, cool, you do the same shit, and you're also still misogynistic. I mean, if you're claiming to be better, then why do you actually be better?
Exactly.
Yeah. It goes back to the same thing where people will do stuff like this, say that they care about all these other things, and then not do anything, just help in any situation outside of piss pound on their keyboard to make themselves feel better.
No, that's the whole thing. It's just like the immediate gratification of social media. And that's just not about this. This is like universal. I'm like, can you just step outside for 5 minutes and ask yourself, would you say this in front of someone? Because if you wouldn't, then you're a fucking coward that you think you can get away with this shit.
Oh no, that's like we talked about earlier. We need to bring back bullying. I'm telling you right now. I would just love to have show where you get caught saying this thing online, you have to then be brought onto a show where in person you have to say that to that thing or to that person, and the person you're going to say it to has every right to dent your skull in for what you said. Are you still going to say it? Bet you 9 times out of 10 they aren't going to say half the shit they say anymore.
No.
Nope.
Social media has created this giant shield where people can say all the most horrendous fucking things humanly possible, lie about all these things they want to say just to make themselves feel right and so other people seem fucking terrible. Ugh. Fucking ridiculous. But anyway. Alright. Moving on to something a little bit less sad. So Sony's Horizon Zero Dawn movie is supposedly going to begin filming in 2026, targeting a 2027 release. I don't know if I like that time frame. We've already have a working script and are actively searching for a director, said PlayStation Productions Azid Hilsbash, I believe. I've talked with a lot of people about this. I am not a giant fan of the fact that this is going to be a movie.
Yeah,
no,
I'm with
it's already
you.
giving bad vibes.
Now, I understand there was the thing where, what the hell was that guy's name? The Umbrella Academy guy.
Oh,
the dude that did all the bullying and shit on Umbrella Academy, the showrunner. I can't think of his name, but apparently he was going to be the showrunner for the Netflix Horizon thing.
Jeremy Slater?
Oh, maybe. I don't remember.
Or Steve Blackman.
I honestly don't remember. It was the guy that was the main showrunner on Umbrella Academy that got all of that was like, I believe they were the one bullying Elliot Page and a couple of other things. And but I don't know the best way to describe this. Horizon is a series that is known, or that first game at least, is a thing that is lauded for its unbelievably slow burn reveals through like a regular 45 hours of gameplay to bring you toward the end of just like the dominoes falling slowly over time as you work through things. You don't do that in a 2-hour movie. I could give you an hour movie that leads up to the act of why the character goes on the adventure that she goes on. And I can tell you right now, this is going to actively hurt perception of the game if it does bad, because they're already a bunch of useless chuds that didn't know that women had hair on their face when they showed pictures of Aloy's render from the second game.
It's like they've never seen pictures of Marilyn Monroe before.
They've never been in close proximity with a woman before. I hate to show you, Homo sapiens, like, hairs on their face. Like, that's how mammals work. I don't mean to disappoint you, but sorry, it's how it happens. But yeah, it's because this thing's gonna be expensive. I understand probably it also episode budgets might have been a way for a reason for why that it did the other way, but I don't know who the fuck they could even get to direct this without blowing a giant wad of cash on it.
Yeah, I'm kind of stumped right now for who would even want to be attached to this, just because they're gonna receive a whole bunch of horse shit from
all sorts of over entitled fans.
I don't know. This is just seems like it's turning into the 2020s version of Assassin's Creed. Like, it's like the same vibes.
It's like, here's the thing. I fully expect them to attempt to make the game in the only way that it would differ from and make a splash are those based on franchises.
Jacob, you're not wrong.
No, I would disagree with that, though, because the problem is all the ones that have been made for kids that have done well are made of movies that aren't based on games that are 70 hours long.
Yeah, it's like the video game movies that are made for kids, aside from Minecraft, are a little bit more nostalgia based, like Sonic and the Super Mario Brothers movie.
Yeah, but versus making like the video game equivalent of like War and Peace, like that length.
Yes,
which might take a while for us to get there.
Which again, they're picking something that you can actively adapt easily into a 2-hour format. The reason why a good chunk of them fail, adult more games, is because they choose ones that are 70 fucking hours long. And then wonder why they don't like the finished product. It's not the fact that they're adult-oriented, it's the fact that they're choosing shitty material to put into a 2-hour movie.
And it becomes just an incoherent mess. Again, Assassin's Creed.
Yeah, and also, by that same metric, that means that Mortal Kombat was a failure when clearly it wasn't, because they're making their third movie before the second one's already released. Mortal Kombat, not a kid-friendly adventure. It's all on picking your subject matter. And going back from that, for picking subject matter, Tencent's fucking stupid. So
beautiful transition, Brock.
Yeah. Tencent is getting released for Lights of Motoram because it, in their opinion, only looks slightly like Horizon, so much that they had to change their marketing stuff and tear it down after the lawsuit happened because they didn't want to get more into there. And they claim they're not copying anything from Sony. They're not doing anything from that. And then it comes out in new filings of this lawsuit that happened that Tencent also wanted to make a Last of Us game after Sony rejected the Horizon project. So twice they tried to get Sony's permission to make games and were told no. But they don't make anything that's like Sony's games. They're not even paying attention to that.
It's like that quote from Drake and Josh. No, I'm sorry I got caught, but I'm definitely going to do it some more.
I'm definitely going to do it some more. So in a new court filing, Sony's lawsuit against Tencent reveals that Tencent wanted to pitch a Last of Us game after Sony rejected the Horizon project. Sony's ongoing lawsuit just gets more interesting. The lawsuit, Tencent's upcoming title, Lights of Motoram, which Sony claims is a blatant Horizon clone, because it is, now includes a filing that sheds light on how far Tencent allegedly want to work with Sony before things fell apart. In a new opposition briefing file today, Sony not only pushed back against Tencent's attempt to dismiss the case, but called its claims nonsense and that the company is playing a shell game with brands and entities. Okay, Tencent. As a part of the opposition filing, Sony included a declaration by the game poster Olivier Cortemanche, the head of mobile at PlayStation Studios, offering behind the scenes to talk about the two companies unfolded and how things went. Says that the team traveled to Shenzhen, China to explore possible partnerships with Tencent in its studios, according to Aurora Studios, the same developer behind Motoram. The meeting was supposed to be about The Last of Us, and it was represented by the staff in the gaming division of Aurora Studios. Sony formally rejected the idea in an email saying it wasn't interested in licensing Horizon. At the Game Developers Conference in March 2024 in San Francisco, California, my team met with Tencent individuals identified and associates with Tencent Aurora Studios. Approximately 5 to 6 persons affiliated with Tencent attended the meeting. During the meeting, Tencent pitched a Horizon 3 project. Tencent also pitched a grainy video that was difficult to decipher. Tencent Aurora Studios referred to it as Project Z. And then it went later on to talk about how when none of that flew through, they tried to get one for The Last of Us. But no, they're making all original projects when you get shot down twice. I don't mean to, like, rip on Swifties here, but this sounds like Taylor Swift if she would have made a brand new song after her and Travis might have broken up, if they did, and then made a song specifically about the Chiefs and went, no, that's original. I didn't copy anything. Taylor, you said Chiefs in the song. And you said the name Travis twice. But that's a different Travis. This looks different. This one I don't talk about is Dick and
You know, my funniest thing in all that saga is like the one song,
Pretty
you know,
much.
with I guess herself, you know, indulged feud, like her one-sided feud with like Charlie XCX, and Charlie's like, I don't want no parts of it. She's like, I just said how I felt. Like I told people not to get, you know, it's like so ridiculous. And she's just like, okay, I'm gonna be here with my husband smoking cigarettes and getting drunk. I'm happy. I don't really want to be in whatever you have going on right now.
Yes, exactly. It's freaking all right. Hideo Kojima on AI. A lot of people use AI in creative work to come up with ideas, but I think AI as more of a friend. I would leave the creative part and use AI to boost efficiency. I would like AI to handle the tedious tasks that would lower cost and cut down on time, co-creating with AI instead of just using it. Fucking shocking. It's almost like that's the smartest take on AI I've ever fucking heard.
Yeah, it's almost like, you know, it should be used for like repetitive tasks and like machine learning and not the actual creative part.
Yeah. Because AI doesn't do well with shocker. Also, another shocker. Xbox is greedy as fuck. So this is a thing that blew my mind because I didn't think they did this, and I don't know if Xbox is the only one that does it, but I've never heard of Sony doing this. The Verge reports that Xbox dev kits increased from $1,500 to $2,000.
What?
What?
Why would you charge for dev kits for companies to make video games on that you want to make money off of?
I haven't heard of that being a thing. Like in the 90s, like I understand because of like resources why that was a thing, but I've never heard of Nintendo or Sony doing that.
No. The adjustments reflect macroeconomic developments. We remain committed to providing high-quality tools and support for our development efforts. Every time I hear one of these statements, I want to... I'm just...
You know, if somebody is a communications major, like, this is, like, such PR speak that it makes me want to vomit.
It's PR word salad.
That sounds like it was made by AI. This is make us not sound greedy. Send. I'd love to know who gets paid to make these bullshit statements. Because no one believes it. No one. You're going to increase the price for a dev kit for someone to make games on a system where they don't sell? What?
I got nothing.
I don't got nothing either. I can't even with these people. All right. GTA 6 could generate more revenue at $69.99 than the rumored $100, research says. A report surveying 2,000 U.S. consumers have found that 79% are happy to buy a game for $49.99, while 60% would definitely and probably buy a game at $69.99. Fucking shocking. People would buy a game if it was cheaper.
Wow.
What? I don't know. Like, I'm stunned. Like, I don't know what I'm gonna do with this information. Like, my whole worldview has changed forever.
Yeah. Here's the thing, though. I guarantee what's going to happen, and I'm pretty sure we've mentioned this on this podcast. They are going to sell that game at $70 standard. But for an extra, possibly between $10 to $30 for the Ultimate Edition, you get to play the game 5 days early.
Which, you know what? Honestly, I wouldn't even really be mad at. I mean, cause just throw in some like extra skins and like other like in-game collectibles, and like, okay, fine.
I can honestly see them selling it just off the fact you can play it 5 days early. I'm going to be perfectly honest with you. And then you get skins or whatever when GTA Online comes out a year after.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah.
Because that thing's going to make the GDP of a small country overnight. That thing's going to be fucking ridiculous. Shuhei Yoshida says it was almost helpful that Nintendo abandoned their partnership with Sony. Really? Because you got to make the PlayStation? No shit, Shuhei. It was almost helpful that Nintendo canceled the project. Otherwise, Sony team would have been stuck as part of a Nintendo system. But competition is always healthy. Now, Xbox, Nintendo and PlayStation seem to be going in very different directions. You don't fucking say. And I think it's great overall for the industry. But, yeah. But why would I pay less for when I could pay more? That is the question.
I don't know, just true words of wisdom. Brian.
Another thing that PlayStation did, which someone said the quiet part out loud that I thought was really fucking funny. PlayStation Store now lets users review games they own, but only on the web. So I like the fact that you have to buy the game in order to review it. And the reviews are a 4,000 character limit. Now, if you're going to buy a game to purposely review bomb it, I don't know how mad you would have to be to type that bitch out, going like, if you're that mad that you want to spend money and then spend possibly 2 hours typing that bitch out on this, I give you credit.
Wait, what's the character limit?
4,000.
Now I'm just imagining some loser spending all day writing a 4,000 character essay
on this. I would almost be like, you know what? You deserve it. If you have that little of a life, you go nuts.
I know.
Yeah. Oh, wait. It's 4,000 characters, not 4,000 words.
Characters.
Yeah.
Characters.
But it'd be like, my dearest Archibald, the women made me very angry. And in this essay, I will say how much they suck and why, girls drool and boys rule.
Yes. Yes, absolutely. All right, so we need to talk about someone who's become like one of my favorite people on the planet over the years. So Charlie, who most people know as MoistCr, did a thing that shocked the fuck out of me. He has turned off every way humanly possible for him to make money off Twitch. He has turned off donations. He has, I believe, turned off subs as well. He's just got rid of all of it. And he's openly said that there are so many better options for your money and urged people to give their money to charity. And he said in a lot longer TLDR version of it that he's made enough money to where he's happy for life. I believe Charlie's younger than me.
Oh, good for him.
From YouTube and Twitch alone, they did out the averages and everything. That I think he's been a content creator for, I believe, like 10 years, but he's made the mass majority.
Yeah, because originally he was a COD streamer, wasn't he?
I believe so. But he's made the vast majority of his money, like in the past, like 4 years, I believe. The estimates and how they figured everything out, that from all this, he's made anywhere between $40 to $50 million.
Damn.
Well, is one of the biggest, personalities on YouTube. Like, so I'm not subscribed, and also he lives in Florida, which has pretty low income tax, so he's fine.
Yeah, you were right. He's one of the people that I don't think has ever had a bad take in his entire life.
Like, I may not always agree with his opinions, but it's always fun to watch one of his videos.
You never hear him, how do I want to say this? You never feel like he is saying his opinion out of spite.
No, he's always just talking straight from the heart.
Yeah, like he's going to talk about something because he genuinely wants to talk about it and not to make bullet points to get someone to retweet him. And I appreciate the living shit out of that. It's the type of influencer I actually feel like uses the internet correctly. And it's hard to come by. It's like him and Queso are like the two main people. Like, I know we talked about last time where Queso was literally pausing his game so that people that got ads weren't missing anything, and he got bitched at about it. Yeah, baby, that's what I've been waiting for. Yeah, exactly.
Woo! Yeah, baby!
That's what we've been waiting for! Yeah, Charlie's fucking great. Out of all the things that have ever happened in this life, that is one of the most not happened things that has ever... That's so fucking good. Alright, so there's a couple things out here that I'm going to save for when Kiona is here for gaming things, but this next thing I saw, and I think I laughed till I pissed myself. We're gonna start on streaming here. I do not know what it's from, Jacob, no. We're gonna go through we're on the streaming and movie news here. We're gonna go through a list of major TV shows that have started and ended during the run of Stranger Things. Everybody, buckle the fuck up. You, Loki, Dark, Barry, Ozark, Andor, Arcane, Atlanta, Snowfall, Riverdale, This Is Us, Cobra Kai, Killing Eve, Big Mouth, Luke Cage, Dairy Girls, Westworld, The Crown, Succession, Yellowstone, Squid Game, The Punisher, Sex Education, Young Sheldon, The Good Place, 13 Reasons Why, Superman and Lois, The Good Doctor, Raised by Wolves, His Dark Materials, Star Trek Discovery, Designated Survivor, The Handmaid's Tale, Umbrella Academy, Star Wars The Bad Batch, The Righteous Gemstones, The Marvelous Miss Maisel, What We Do in the Shadows, and The Chilling Adventures of Sabrina.
And here's the best part. That's not even all of them. That's just a small sample size.
And some of it, like, from beginning to end. Oh, and by the way, just to go back to Charlie's story, I looked it up and immediately... Like, that one scene in Ratatouille where you have the memory flash? I remember what it's in reference to.
Yes.
Alright, so, you ready? You ready to hear? Huh? You ready? Okay. Because I remember I was joking about this too.
Yeah.
It's about this. Hold on. I'm trying to find this stupid commercial. Oh, here it is. Yeah, anyway, it's about the Poopsie surprise.
Yes, I remember that now, yeah.
Yeah, I'll just find a picture of it.
Good lord, but... Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, I remember
here
that.
It is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Which makes it even better.
That's the most Charlie thing. Good lord. God. But, yeah, no... I found that list on Twitter, and I'm like, the sad part is I know there's more, but
I just love the way they listed all of those shows and made like a little.
I love how it was dedicated enough to have the amount of letters to make it look as it got bigger as it went along.
just bravo.
Yeah, it's bravo. But moving on to something that's not so much of a bravo. Warner Brothers Discovery is officially considering acquisition offers, and it has turned down, was it Paramount?
It's Paramount and Skydance.
Twice now.
I heard a third time earlier.
Well, I don't know if it was the third time, but either way, multiple times. So after receiving interest from multiple parties, we have initiated a comprehensive review of strategic alternatives to identify the best path forward to unlock full value of our assets, says David Zaslav, who is looking for a golden parachute to get the fuck out of the company.
It's almost like that was his plan.
Yes,
Yeah.
listen to David Zaslav about how to make money.
Well, I mean, I tell you how it's gonna go up because it's in the in our Google Doc, is that they aren't introduced in the networks. What I think, if anything, that is going to happen is that Discovery is going to basically be saddled with like the networks, how they're going to split, and then the other assets are going to be sold. So basically, WB as we know it is going to be broken up.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah,
you're selling everything.
I hear the
games,
plan.
whole shit.
The plan is they're gonna split, I think, April of 2026, and then they'll start listening to offers again.
Yeah. Netflix and Comcast are both interested in acquiring Warner Brothers TV and films assets, but aren't interested in the networks. Warner Bros. Has rejected Paramount's first and second bid to buy the company. Yeah, that's...
Well, it's almost like losing the rights to the NBA suddenly made the networks a lot less appealing.
Unfortunately.
Because they quote-unquote didn't need them.
Yeah. I just hope that gaming division goes to someone who doesn't hate them.
Oh, and what about DC Comics?
Well, I would
don't
imagine
know.
it'd be considered a film asset.
Yeah.
Because of their films. Like, I would just assume that that's part of that. And I don't know if the comics part would be phased out. I mean, it could be, but...
I hope not.
I'd almost imagine they would just not even whatever with that. Because would that be more effort to get rid of it?
Possibly.
Like,
Yeah.
that'd be insane. Or would that be considered just an asset that they base stuff off of? Do they own film rights to DC movies, or do they own DC?
They
own
own DC.
They own DC. Okay.
So basically, long story short of like how WB even got DC to begin with is that DC was, I think owned by the same company that owned like Time magazine and like a bunch of other assets, and then through another merger, they got bought out by another communication company, and then that communication company, I think, bought Warner Brothers.
Whatever happens, I just hope whoever gets a gaming division does good stuff with it, because fuck Warner Brothers for shutting down Monolith. Anyway, this isn't anything big. I just thought it was funny. Liam Neeson said he didn't know he was in The Dark Knight Rises. He
Perfect
says no.
bookend
Yes.
last week.
Yes. He says Nolan was so secretive, he filmed for 2 hours with Bale tied to a chair and still had no idea. I asked Nolan, "What am I doing?" He goes, "Just walk and say the lines and walk back." I'm trying to remember the lines that he says that would not have been a dead fucking giveaway that he was in Batman. WB owned Atari at one point.
Yes, they did. That is, in fact, true.
Interesting. All right. The creators of K-pop Demon Hunters have rejected the idea of creating a live-action movie. There's so many elements of tone in the comedy that have been suited to animation, it's really hard to imagine these characters in the live-action world.
Thank you.
Oh, shit. That's why a lot of them don't work. All right.
Well, speaking of which.
Yeah. So this is something I think that more directors and people need to say. I'm going to be really honest with you. In a surprising twist, the Guardians of the Galaxy director discussed taking on another group of rowdy travelers, touching upon whether he would direct Netflix's live-action One Piece. You know, if I went and did One Piece, I think it would be hard for me because I don't understand what it is that is the most beloved things about One Piece. I've only read a couple of the One Piece comics, but with DC characters, I understand them. Now, I also do change them with someone like Peacemaker. I've changed a lot of who he is. With Guardians, I changed a lot of things, so I do know the freedom that comes with less known characters. You mean to tell me that people that don't know the property well sometimes can't handle it well?
Ah, wow, what a crazy statement to make. James, I don't know. He's smoking the kush or whatever. It's just crazy talk.
Yeah, it's one of those things where it's just like, why do we have to have this as a take for people to be like, oh yeah, that does make sense. Oh yeah.
Because clicks.
Yes. All right. Now, speaking of something that I'm actually unbelievably happy about. Uh so Japanese government officials have said that manga and anime are irreplaceable treasures, ask OpenAI to prevent copyright infringement, and insist Japanese should take the lead in regulating AI. OpenAI recently launched Sora 2 video generation app, and while it's been popular with users, many of whom are using it to generate videos of their favorite anime characters, the Japanese government has a different opinion. Minoru Koichi, Japanese Minister of the State for IP and AI Strategy, has announced a formal request by the government for tech companies to disallow the generation of videos that infringe on copyrighted Japanese materials. Koichi describes manga and anime as irreplaceable treasures in Japanese culture, and important exports to the rest of the world. At the same time, Japanese Digital Minister Mizaki Taira has called OpenAI to voluntarily comply with their request to stop copyright infringement. In relation to the launch of Sora 2, Japanese parliament member, why are they doing this to me? Kisha Shoizaki states on social media that Japan bears responsibility to take the lead on making rules related to AI and copyright infringement precisely because we are a country that has captivated the world with the creativity and power of anime, games, and music. OpenAI previously told the press that it has reached out to talent agencies and movie studios prior to the launch of Sora 2. I fucking doubt it. Offering the ability to offer out of allowing the company's LLMs to train their copyrighted material via routers, but it is unclear that any Japanese creators were contracted. When generative AI apps become more and more prominent, it is encouraging me that the Japanese government has joined the rising chorus of voices with some actual effective power to point out the copyright infringement and creative plagiarism that seems to be the core of their functionality. Japanese creators, particularly mangaka, are well known for pouring themselves into their work, literally sacrificing their personal lives and health to perfect their craft and maintain a hectic release schedule of many manga. This is the artistic sacrifice that deserves to be respected by honoring the work to create at the level of the human hand and eye. Whether how OpenAI responds to the Japanese government's request remains to be seen. In the meantime, check out the 25 best shows of anime to watch in 2025. And it makes me very happy that an actual government body is like, fuck off.
And you know what? I would not fuck with Japan and copyright laws because their copyright laws are scary. Like, they will fucking arrest you and give you actual jail time if you do scanlations of Shonen Jump early. Like, they will fuck you up.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
If
Yes,
you thought
they will.
American copyright law was insane, oh, you ain't seen shit.
Yeah,
No.
compared to Japan, America's copyright laws are like a minor inconvenience, a slap on the wrist.
Yeah. It's scary, and I hope some shit happens, and I can't wait to hear the "Now I can't make my favorite animal characters fight each other." Totally not market about statement.
Yep.
But all right. So MTV to shut down their music channels after 40 years as Paramount restructures global network. So it is no longer able to be called MTV.
Do they mean main MTV or do they mean like MTV 2?
Well, I'm going to read the. After nearly 4 decades on the air, MTV is set to end one of its most defining chapters in modern music television history. The iconic brand's company, Paramount Global, has confirming plans to shut down all remaining MTV music channels by December 31st, 2025, marking an end of an era for millions of fans who grew up watching music videos on television. The closure will affect several MTV-branded spin-offs across Europe, including MTV Music, MTV 80s, MTV 90s, Club MTV, and MTV Live. According to the industry reports, the decision is part of a broader restructuring effort by Paramount, driven by cost-cutting and ongoing shift of audience from traditional TV to digital streaming. So that sounds like everything.
Yeah, this sucks.
So why is the channel going to still be called MTV? It should just be called Ridiculousness Shows Here over and over again.
You know, a lot of the Paramount shows like that, between that and like Nicktoons, is just like gone down.
Here's the thing though, Kaisers. I'm going to ask an honest question. How much actual weight does the brand MTV carry now? We are the age of when TRL was a thing.
Yeah, I know. I remember that, but I'm reading it. It's basically the music.
Our age doesn't care anymore. Our age does not care about MTV anymore.
No.
Yeah, no.
At all. And we're the age that branding would carry weight with. You're just going to suck it into something else. And the people that watch, like, the 3 shows that they have on repeat on 5 different channels are just going to go to that channel.
Yeah, so it looks like it's just all the stations that are still actually playing music videos, which I'm actually kind of shocked that they were even still around.
Mm-hmm.
They said those were mostly in Europe.
Yeah. Like,
that makes more sense.
This is the thing that, like, when I was in high school and middle school, my entire, like, routine in the morning was turning on MTV while I got ready in the morning.
Yeah, it was MTV or VH1.
Or VH1. Oh my god, yeah. Like, when I was growing up as a kid, like, I remember, like, my dad, like, had it on for whatever reason on Saturday morning, that and, like, Lifetime. Yeah, I don't get it. I had a weird childhood. But I remember, like, them playing, like, a lot of Celine Dion and, like Madonna, like, music videos. Because I can't tell you how many times I saw the freaking Frozen music video by Madonna on there.
Oh, boy.
God.
Of her, Madonna doing her woo with like the dogs and shit. If I can melt your heart, and then her just doing like her weird like of her arms, and then like melting into a puddle.
Oh god. All right. I'm gonna be honest with you. This is probably the biggest thing that's going to come out of this podcast. This is going to be partially a social media was a mistake, but I don't know. And you remember the... Oh, yeah, that was a thing. All right, so for anybody who like remotely knows internet personalities, Emiru is known for being kind of awkward, but genuinely very sweet. IRL mostly Twitch streamer who is good at cosplay, is good at everything. He's a very good personality, just an overall very kind person. There was an event called TwitchCon that happened this last weekend. And at this TwitchCon, Emiru had a show called Cosplay ? And it was basically a game show that she was hosting. Leading up to this event, Valkyrie and a bunch of other different content creators said that they were not going to be going to this TwitchCon because they did not feel safe. And they were given a lot of shit and acting like they were, how do I want to put this? People were saying that they acted like they were bigger celebrities that they are, like someone's going to do something, like you're not that important kind of thing is how they were doing it. They said, no, I legitimately don't feel safe. It's not a well-ran thing, and I really don't like it. Then, on the very first day, Emiru was in a meet and greet that she was forced to do in order to keep doing her show that she wanted to do at the show. If she didn't do the meet and greet, they were going to cancel her show and everything that she was doing at TwitchCon. Now, the previous year at TwitchCon, Emmy was being stalked around the entire convention by a guy. Her security then grabbed this dude, held him in place so that the actual event security could get rid of said stalker, and then her security guard was kicked out because he put hands on a con attendee. Yeah. So then she got a different security guard that she paid $10,000 for, apparently, to go to this. And do you see the clip, Mike?
I didn't see it, but I've read a lot about this.
So essentially what happens is this one guy had to go through like 3 different lines of people's meet and greets, just ran up out of the meet and greet, ran straight up to Emmy, grabbed her by the face, and basically tried to force his tongue down her throat. And it only got out because someone in the line was videotaping the meet and greet, a random stranger. Twitchcon did not post anything publicly about it until after that video got released.
Of course.
They would have not said a thing that had happened. So then, when they finally got a hold of the guy, I'm just going to read what I got in notes here. Emiru was assaulted at TwitchCon on day 1. After Twitch kicked out her security last year and banned him from going this year, all because he was helping get a stalker kicked out who was following her, Thursday, Twitch banned a security guard and not the stalker. They also made her do the meet and greet to keep her show at the event. The guy was pushed off of her, just barely, told to go away. They did not grab him right away. They let him walk away after he tried shoving his tongue down her throat. His punishment was being banned from Twitch for 30 days.
What?
Initially, then they made the ban permanent. Which, hey, Mike, if you ban a person from Twitch, wouldn't you need to know who the person was?
Mm-hmm.
Shocking, nothing came out about that or any arrest attempts made off of that. And so then the punishment was given out, and then there was some people laughing about the entire situation later on, and those people happened to be the head of security for Amazon and the head of risk for Twitch. The big wigs were partying and laughing about it later on in that night. This happened after multiple female streamers said they were not attending the event for security concerns. Now,
I wonder why.
Yeah. Now, Emmy made a giant post on Twitter after this, and I'm just going to read it out because it summarizes it pretty well. Hello, everyone. I am okay, and thank you for your kind messages. I cannot respond to them all. Yesterday, the man who assaulted me was allowed to cross multiple barriers at TwitchCon, even in front of another creator's meet and greet, just to grab me and my face and try to kiss me. Fortunately, he wasn't able to, but got a lot of people to point it out and could have been a lot worse. Obviously, I'm shaken up by what happened. This is not the first time I've dealt with something like this, but to tell you honestly, I am a lot more hurt and upset by how Twitch handled it during and after the fact. Like I said, I do not understand how he was allowed to make it to me in the first place. The security in the clip who reacts is my own security. It's true, my favorite and usual security guard was banned by holding a stalker's arm to bring him to the police at a past TwitchCon. However, there were at least 3 to 4 TwitchCon security staff in the area who did not react and let the guy walk away, as you can see in the clip, who did not appear in the frame. They didn't even appear in the frame. The woman who was walking me away is my own personal manager, and behind the booth, the only 2 people who were checking on me and comforting me were her and my friend. None of the TwitchCon staff came to ask me what happened or if I was okay. My friend asked who was present, told me the Twitch security were also behind the booths afterwards, joking about how they didn't even see what happened and immediately laughing and moving on to talking about something else. So if no one is checking on if I was okay and needed anything and they let the guy run away initially, I had no idea what anyone was hired to keep this event safe was doing. And Twitch's
I know what they were doing.
In Twitch's statement, they said the guy was immediately caught and detained. I'm sorry, but that's a blatant lie. He was allowed to walk away and from my meet and greet, and I didn't hear he was caught until hours after he attacked me. It felt like this only happened because the manager was pressing for it, not because TwitchCon staff present thought it was a big deal. I have a lot more to say, but for now, I will say it on stream later instead of writing a book on here. Thank you again. Sorry you all had to see that. Definitely my last TwitchCon, and it saddens me that as a 10-year on and off attendee of TwitchCon, I think other creators should seriously consider not attending in the future. I do not feel cared for or protected, even bringing my own security and staff. I cannot imagine how other creators without these options feel. Stay safe, y'all. It is going to be okay. Tory Lanez met up with Tory Lawrence met up with Dan Clancy, CEO of Twitch, and asked him about Twitch's safety post about the Emiru incident. I do think that when you're live streaming, in many ways, you can control your own community. What happened yesterday, we care deeply. It's something we can keep working on. So basically blaming Emiru about it. But wait, there's more. Because not only Emiru got the shitty end of the deal. So multiple VTubers.
Yeah, that's what I was just about to bring up.
Yeah, multiple VTubers were made to unmask out in front of people, not in a private room for meet and greets. And also these multiple VTubers came out and said that the staff threw their gifts away that were left for them at their meet and greets.
Yeah, because that's, the thing. So, like, you're assuming that they aren't safe. I'm like, so you're saying that you don't have metal detectors, so if there was, like, a bomb or shit, so, like, oh, we'll do security there, but, us sexually, assaulting our panelists? Hey.
Yeah, that's perfectly fine. But no, these things that were supposedly bad made it into the middle of the fucking building? What? And, like, I just saw that, like, a clip came up if they changed their banner to see you all in 2026. You honestly think there's going to be another one of these fucking things?
No.
No, I mean, haven't TwitchCons been on the outs for, like, a little bit? I mean, I feel like a lot of more of the big... No ones have been going
for security concerns.
Yeah, I'm saying, like, I figure, like, most people would probably opt for, like, VidCon instead, because that covers, like, a wider platform.
Absolutely, and, like, a VTuber that I'm a big fan of, Sayu, Alejandro Saab, I believe, who was a voice actor, was like, there goes any FOMO I had to go on a TwitchCon. Peace, one of the biggest VTubers in existence. And it's just like, nah, I'm good. And then, like, not gonna say whatever, but, like, I respect the living hell out of people that are still going on Twitch and bitching about how bad the actual people that work behind the scenes of Twitch are.
Oh, yeah, the biggest fucking dude bros.
Because not everyone that works behind Twitch are jackasses and useless, but the heads are. That their CEO needs to be fired immediately. The guy does not care whatsoever. And a lot of it is they allow a lot of shit on their platform that should not be. People that think they're celebrities by wanting to make themselves famous instead of streaming for the fact that you want to be streaming. I don't do this podcast because my goal is to get rich. I don't invite these people on that are friends of mine because I think, oh yeah, we're going to take the world by storm. I do this because I want to do it. If it happens to make money, that is a secondary effect. If I did not want to do this, I would not be doing this. If your goal for streaming is to be famous, stop fucking streaming. Most of the people that are famous from streaming are famous because people liked watching them. That cause correlation is exactly A to B.
Yep.
Remember the time where trailers are seen her thought time was a tank in her power 12 fast. But yeah, it's this whole thing with Emmy is fucking just, and it's a person who, like, it only happens to nice people. Like, there is famous Twitch streamers that are absolutely just fucking dickheads that don't deserve any form of fame, and, like, I just, like, what the fuck was her name? We brought it up before. It's a girl that was stalking Jack's films. SS Sniper Wolf was, like, complaining that she would had to have had a Twitch contract where she would have had to stream 20 hours, wait for it, a week. These people, like, there's just some that just don't live in a form of reality. And it just, people, you don't, how do I want to say this? A, don't be a fucking creep, but B, we as a human race need to get a better understanding of what parasocial relationships are.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
These people don't owe you anything whatsoever. And I know people are like, but Brock, you talked about it, whatever. Yeah, I had 2 experiences that were some of the nicest experiences I've had in my life. every voice actor, whatever I've met at any of these cons have been great. There's only one where it was kind of iffy and the person treated it as like a whatever experience, but I could tell they were having a bad day. Yes, I had a mind-changing experience with Kevin Conroy when he treated me like he cared about me with all of his heart and soul because he cares about his fans. My life wouldn't have been different if I didn't have that. I had the same thing with Yuri Lowenthal. But even they will openly say that is very hard for them to do because they don't know how to treat certain people. Because they don't know what to expect from certain people. They're putting their literal lives on the line for any random stranger to approach them at a convention. Things can happen. They are not your friends. You may get along with them and have a moment, but they are not your friends. They aren't meant to be.
Or if you even go back, which is like the stuff of like, I mean, like particularly pissed me off. Like, do y'all remember Christina Grimmie?
That name sounds familiar, but I'm blanking.
She was on The Voice, and then she got shot.
Yeah.
By a fan. Or if you want to go like even further back, like Selena, like you don't fuck with that, like especially if you're like a public person. I'm like, sorry, if you're a streamer, you are a public personality.
Mm-hmm.
There's going to be people who want to hurt you.
And it's going to be for reasons that make no sense most of the time.
Yep.
You didn't do the thing they wanted during a whatever. You didn't see their message during a stream. You didn't do blank and blank. You need to realize that, like, people don't realize that some people's entire existence is based off of who they watch sometimes. And it becomes obsessive very easily. And I'm not saying those people need to, like, be not allowed in public, but I'm saying that sometimes these people do not realize that they have problems. Like that situation with that fan with Zach Aguilar not that long ago. And guys, remember that young lady that was, like, having an actual meltdown because she thought she was going to miss out on meeting Zach Aguilar, where the convention staff had to, like, take her out of the building because they didn't want to let her near Zach. It was... I don't know if anyone else remembers that, but it was bad.
I vaguely remember that, but still, damn.
The idolization, you can have that. Again, with Yuri and Kevin, I idolized that, but I didn't, like, approach them figuring they're going to need to know me and they need to remember me for the rest of their life. These people meet thousands of people in a weekend. They're not making you not feel special. They get 5 minutes with you, maybe. And they're going to try their best. And it's, what was it? I believe it was Yuri that said that, like, he knows how it is on both ends of that table. That's why he tries his best to be on at all times, but that is very hard to do. People that don't, like, get into public situations don't realize how hard it is to actually just be put in that situation and be under pressure all day long. They need to try and be on their best behavior, not to say a single thing wrong, because in this day and age, anything can get spun on you whatsoever, even if you're doing nothing inappropriate. And then you get people that are like, with Emiru, where it's like this, where it's like, yeah, she just needs to understand that stuff's going to happen to her and she deserves it. No!
Nope.
That's not how that statement's made. She needs to feel safe because crap can happen. And she doesn't need to be at an event where they kick out her security for helping escort a stalker. Sorry. Someone lays hands on you, you were doing something wrong.
You know, like, honestly, if I was, a top, female streamer, like, I would just do, like, a one-day, like, blackout. Like, I would give all my other girlies and just black out for a day. Just make it fucking hurt.
It's one of those things where it's like you start understanding why people get more close off. It's like with WWE, you have people waiting at airports with literal wheelbarrows of stuff for people to sign just because you want to sell it. People can't feel comfortable. There's a great clip of Rhea Ripley's being interviewed by someone in an airport, and Kevin Owens walks up to her and, like, point blank asks her, he's like, make sure, are you okay? Is this dude bothering you? She's like, no, it's good. And Kevin was ready to, like, take this guy out. because they're so sick of having to deal with this. And everyone can have it both ways. Some celebrities don't deal with it well, but I'm going to be honest with you, 90% of the time it is not on them.
Yep.
I think 90% is being very fucking generous. Everyone get better at this, or it's just going to have less opportunities. You're going to ruin things for other people who are trying to actually like have a conversation with someone that possibly meant a lot to them, to just go and say thank you and take a picture with them. You're ruining that. This stuff is just an A. If you think anyone who has never met you in your life is in love with you, seek psychiatric help. Because, like, this fan that tried to force himself on Emmy, there's probably something in her head that thought that this was what she would have wanted. And that is fucking terrifying. Stop! That's... Anyway. Alright, don't mean to go on a double downer here, but, we had quite a few people pass away in the last few weeks.
Yeah.
There was, okay, so we'll go through the musicians first. Who, Sam Rivers from Limp Bizkit. Who was the other musician?
Ace from Kiss.
Ace from Kiss. I myself was not the hugest Kiss fan. It was just kind of the thing that was out of my realm of what I listened to.
Alright, I'm in a meeting. Night.
But, I listened to it. Part of my, like, middle school life was forged because of Limp Bizkit. Like, I might even say that part of the reasons I wear hats as much as I do is because of fucking Fred Durst. Like, that sucks.
Yeah, that one really took me off guard because it's like, what?
And he was so young too.
Yeah, what was he, only 48?
Yeah. It wasn't even 50. Which is the crazy to think for how long Limp Bizkit's been around.
Yeah, they've been around since the 90s.
They started early in their lives. Holy shit.
Fred Durst was only 29 when Woodstock 99 happened.
That's fucking insane. Actually insane. And I don't think we even need to partially just bring into existence of just how much Kiss means to people.
And it's like weird because on my other podcast, like crap, we actually like covered like Kiss like a couple weeks ago for the Paul Lynde Halloween special.
Yeah,
that
was
weird.
Their first like appearance on television.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I didn't know that I was making like an unintentional tribute episode. Because in our thumbnail, like, we put, like, Kiss, like, in there doing, like, the Brady Bunch intro.
Yeah, it's
and Ace wasn't that old either. That was another thing. Like, that just came out of nowhere.
No, and that's one of the things where you realize the mortality of certain things. It just, that, and then those happened afterwards. The ones that happened first were Diane Keaton, Drew Struzan. Diane Keaton, like, fucking hurt.
Yeah, and that was out of nowhere, too. And then I think her family confirmed that she died of pneumonia. Which I've had pneumonia, and that shit sucks, but...
That's no joke.
Yeah, such a rough way to go.
She was 79. And, like, Something's Gotta Give is one of my mom's favorite movies. And, do you guys have any favorite movies of hers?
I mean, it's hard to choose because she's been in so many.
Yeah, I mean, her career is just... I mean, it's Diane Keaton. Like, come on.
Yeah, it's that, and many of people is like stuff going through that again. Same with Drew. That guy defined what the hell movie posters were.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, like him and like John Alvin, it's like, oh my god.
Fucking crazy. Like, that is the era of where I actually gave a shit about movie posters. Now you're lucky if you get them half the time.
Mm-hmm.
That was the coolest thing about walking into movie theaters, was to see what the cool art was for everything up in there, and it's just freaking.
Yeah, I know, and it's like I used to collect movie posters all the time, and it's like I don't think I've bought a poster that wasn't like at a convention or like an art print in like 15 years.
I can't tell you the last time that I actually saw a movie poster that I can. The last movie poster in my head that I can remember is the Endgame poster, and even that was no big work of art.
I mean, it was a good Photoshop job. Like, it's
Yeah,
better than most,
but
but
outside of that, I'm blanking on remembering movie posters since I got out of high school and even earlier.
Yeah, the art of the movie poster is
It's become the floating heads. That's all it really is.
yeah, I think you can actually kind of pin down when it died. I would say 2006, because 2006 is when they started to do like more of like the photo thing.
yeah.
Yeah, it's up there. And then you still get some that are all right, where you get kind of cool ideas. Like, honestly, the first Ant-Man poster they ever did
I love that poster.
was pretty great. But yeah, it doesn't anymore. And even good posters nowadays are some of the most simplistic shit. But they kind of lost the art form of that. Was the John Wick movie poster, where the O is the gun barrel. That is such a simplistic poster. And I go that's probably that's the last one I remember that was wow, that was actually a really good poster. It was the John Wick poster. And then even after that, those things got more movie nowadays-ified. And it's one of those things where they don't have to care about it, because half the shit is barely in theaters long enough for you to see the fucking movie posters.
That's unfortunately true.
Yeah.
I'm looking at these. I'm seeing the old Harry Potter movie posters and Back to the Future and Hook. And yeah, sure, his color palette was similar for a lot of things, but it's stuff you don't get anymore. Right here, I'm remembering the fucking poster for The Thing.
That is one of the most iconic posters of all times. And ironically, a couple weeks ago on Panty Talking Season 2, because Panty Talkie parodies movies and media and stuff. They did a parody of The Thing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and it's even back, we talk about the problem with the floating head posters. They still did them back then, but it was to the point of where they were good. The Star Wars posters. They were still good.
Well, because that has composition. There's a reason why they're there, instead of just kind of, awkwardly standing there like one of those 80s family photos, but not ironically.
Yeah, it's simplicity. It was just good.
Yeah, when the posters themselves are telling a story or just making something look appealing, it would inspire people to go actually watch the movie.
Yeah. There's more sauce in this collage here than the past 16 years of movies. That is fucking pathetic. Oh, one guy has outdone however many companies now that can't do shit, and that's also the dying art of the movie voiceover guy. I miss that to death. And the other thing I miss to death, honestly, and I can remember the last trailer that I think ever had something like this, is when the movie was made off the song that was put to it. Do you guys remember the Batman Begins trailer that had Nickelback in it?
Oh God.
That is a fucking time. That is to me is where that died.
Yeah, like 2005, 2006, like what I was saying.
It's fucking just. Oh, I missed it so much. Like, it was a monolithic event back in the day when a song that had nothing to do with the movie, didn't even make sense to be with the movie, was entered in it. Do you remember the near, like, biblical event that was Kiss from a Rose in Batman Forever?
Yep.
That song made no fucking sense with that movie, but it was just put in there, and then they're like, this is I will remember this for the rest of my life. Just, you don't get that anymore. I'm trying to explain to, like, my nieces and nephews, are like, no, this was the coolest shit. This made you excited to go to the movies. You don't have that anymore. Like, the last genuine good movie trailer that had effects to it that I can honestly tell you, there's 2 of them. And I could sadly only remember them from Marvel movies. The first trailer for Age of Ultron. That was a genuinely amazing trailer. And then the second one was the very first trailer for Endgame. Where they're going back through Nick Fury's speech. They don't make trailers like that anymore. And those were 2019. Even since then, it's made that much of a dump in quality. Remember Pump It from the Black Eyed Peas was using the commercial for Cars? Oh my god.
That's a time capsule.
Yeah, now I'm remembering that. Yeah. God, remember when the Black Eyed Peas were in everything? Jesus.
Yeah. Yeah. Was it the first Voltron trailer? The one where they used the demonic version of No Strings on Me?
Yeah.
Or Ultra? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Where they like show that really classic like Dutch angled thing of them going down a highway where he's like talking about like the fragility of humanity and
but see that song made sense because he's like an AI that's not in your control, and Disney also happened to own that song.
Yeah, it was it was 17 different types of perfect. Was it the most on the nose fucking thing ever? Yes.
Yep.
But sometimes that just works.
I just wish Age of Ultron actually lived up to that, but oh well.
Like I'm one of those people that's going to say though, as much as that movie did not work in the whole, I am seeing clips consistently that I need to go back and watch that movie. Some of the best dialogue in the entire MCU is hidden in that movie.
Yeah, like the stuff with Ultron and Vision.
Yeah, no, like Age of Ultron isn't like a complete disaster, but it's like, wow, that could have, you know, there might have been a great movie in there that if it wasn't studio notes to death and like, you know, whatever weirdness was going on with Josh Whedon.
Yeah. I sit back and I listen to some of that. It's like, where did the wires? They were such good. And it's just, ugh. And it's also tainted by the fact that, like, and give or take, they did get fucking great performance because he's a good actor. He's just a piece of shit. But, like, then you get James Spader, the fact he's Ultron, where that was a fucking great casting until you fucking... But human race will have an opportunity to improve if they don't ask. Yeah, as if they don't ask Noah. Yeah, it's like, what? Oh, God, what's the line about... Oh, the fucking line about, like, the Great Reset and then God threw a rock at them. What is that line? It's so good. I can't remember. I can't remember, but it's so good. Almost everything that Ultron said was fantastic. It's like, so, and then it's like, until you break a few, like, you never make something good without breaking it. It's like, obviously, you've never made an omelet. And Tony's like, he beat me by 1 second. Like, that is when the MCU quippiness, I know it was about asteroids, but I can't remember what the exact line was, but like, that's where the MCU quippiness was at its fucking peak. Yep. Was in Age of Ultron. That's where you also have moments where it's like, we're probably gonna die. We'll do that together too. Like, some of the just, that's where Like, you get the version of Cap that was fucking horrible with his dialogue in fucking... That's my biggest gripe with the Avengers. Cap's dialogue in that movie is ass.
Oh, no,
for
it
a
is,
giant
like,
part of it.
No, it is like 1,000 metric tons of ass.
Like, there's one good moment, genuinely, it's one of my favorite Cap lines ever, where Scarlett Johansson, or Black Widow, goes back for, I wouldn't do that, Cap. These guys are, like, whatever, they're basically gods. He's like, there's only one god, ma'am, and he doesn't dress like that, and he jumps on the plane. I'm like, that was the version of Cap that was in the set, like, in the World Wars, that made sense. But the rest of them was just like, oh, hidey-ho, kids, where it's like, it's ran on some form of electricity. There's a difference between you make Cap a man out of time and you make Cap stupid.
Well, that just sounds like Whedonisms there, so, like, I blame that on Josh Whedon.
But then also, you get Whedonisms for him where it's fucking phenomenal in Age of Ultron. Where it's like, I don't got any plans anyways. I'm just like, Joss, why did you have to turn out to be a fucking stain on humanity? Because you're one of those people that if you put the fucking blinders on him a little bit can make something great.
Yep.
But he's a piece of shit!
And also, you know, at least you could say that, well, most of Buffy's writers were women and they made Buffy great, so at least Buffy's not completely ruined.
Ugh. Anyway, guys have anything else?
I feel like there should be one positive affirmation we should end on. I am not sure what that is.
You know what? I'll throw this out there. For anyone who is excited for Wicked for Good.
Oh yeah, Coleman Domingo.
Yeah, Coleman Domingo
as the Cowardly Lion, which was such a me statement. Because I was texting you, I was like, Mike.
Yeah, and once I saw that, plus last night on Dancing with the Stars, they showed a little clip from the movie, and yeah, I need it to be November already.
Yeah, and also they released a Cowardly Lion poster, which kind of confirms like my theory. I was starting to talk of it. Mike, he's gonna have a way bigger role than he does in the show. So just Brock, the TRL is that, you know, do you mind if I give you mild spoilers
you can
about
spoil
Wicked?
the whole thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so I won't go totally spoiler, but in part 1 of Wicked and then Wicked the show, Fiyero, the Winky Prince, and Alphaba, aka the Wicked Witch of the West, while they're at school, there's some drama of like animal teachers. It's like a whole thing of like, you know, animals shouldn't speak, and during all this turmoil and like, you know, censorship or whatever, the new teacher brings in a lion cub in a cage. Alphaba and Fiyero rescue this cub with some magical yet nonsense where she like, you know, puts the class in a spell, but Fiyero, for reasons, is not affected by it, and they release the cub. Take a wild guess who that lion cub grew up to be.
The Cowardly Lion.
Right.
Nice.
And it honestly, it's like I feel bad because I'm like I might be I'm gonna spoil like a 20-plus-year-old musical, but they basically gave it away in the poster. So, you know what, I'm just gonna say it. Fiero's the fucking scarecrow. At least in the musical. In the books, it's like, you know, Alphabas might be going crazy. The books are fucking nuts along with the animal orgies. But, you know, Wicked the book is an entire different story.
You do not just say the statement animal orgies and pass it off like you were fucking making your breakfast order. What?
Wicked the book is not Wicked the musical. It is wild. It is some of the wildest shit you will ever read in your life. It's supposed to be a biography, but the musical has a more straightforward narrative. But anyway, the reason I bring that up is because how the timeline works in the show, Fiyero, you know, before his transformation and the Cowardly Lion don't interact. And basically the Cowardly Lion in Act 2 is reduced to like an stage prop where they just show his tail because he's hiding, because he's cowardly, but he does not talk. But Wicked Part 2 significantly expands the show, because notoriously, I love Wicked to death, but Act 2 is a hot goddamn mess. So basically, Brock, imagine you're telling, the story of Wicked, but consequently, at the same time, you're telling the story of The Wizard of Oz, that you all know, in 45 minutes. So, yeah. So you can see why they expanded this to a 2-hour movie, but I noticed something in the marketing materials is that the Cowardly Lion is one of the few, non-spoiler characters, because there's another character that we already know who the Tin Man is, but I'm not going to spoil it, who it is, but you've already met him. But you see the Cowardly Lion, he's the only one you see at space, because Dorothy's in there, but they've already confirmed that, like the musical, they're not going to show, Dorothy's face, because Dorothy's not really important in the context of this. Dorothy is literally just, a subsequent thing that happens because of main plot happening.
Interesting.
But I think now, since the timetable has changed, where Fiero becomes a scarecrow is going to happen a lot earlier, because it would be weird that the lion would not recognize the dude that saved him 5 years ago.
Yeah, that would be weird.
And the fact that they have Coleman Domingo, who does have a musical theater background and has this, certain cadence to him, to a character that previously does not have any dialogue in the show that it's based on, makes me think, especially since they're reintroducing a lot of the animal rights stuff in the movie that was kind of in the musical, but also not really. So I think Coleman Domingo is going to play a lot bigger role than people realize. Is once you get past the hilarity of Coleman Domingo as the Cowardly Lion, once you're done laughing at the absurdity of that sentence.
It is absurd, but that's what makes the casting just perfect.
Yeah, that's part of how you got to do it. Nice. Holy crap! All right, we are gonna get on out of here. Bree, where can everybody find you?
Well, if you want to hear more of my ramblings about Wicked, getting my Pepe Sylvia board, you can follow me at crazylemur.bsky.social. I'm also on Instagram at lemurs1, where I post puppy pictures and pictures of my cooking sometimes.
Nice. Mike?
You guys can find me on various social media sites at CaptainK42. You can check out my quick thoughts on letterboxd.com/CoachK42. And you can follow Renegade Pop Culture on Facebook and Blue Sky at Renegade Pop Culture. You can also find us here on YouTube, on Podchaser. Consider supporting our Patreon at patreon.com/Renegade Pop Culture. Listen to all of our podcasts on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. And last but not least, everything can be found at renegadepopculture.com. You can escape, so do we.
Absolutely. You can find me everywhere at Organoid0, mainly on Twitch and YouTube. If you are interested in cosplays and the like, you can go over to my Instagram, where all my cosplay and convention going and stuff is there. The next con I'm going to be at is in 2 weeks, roughly, at Twin Cities Con. So if anybody watches this podcast is there, come and check that out. Come and say hello. Until next time, we will see you all later.
Bye.